In the Nofap community, it is common to hear of warriors at the starting line. This is gonna be the time. Who's with me? Day 1 of 100. Watch me. The next time I'll ejaculate is when I have my kids. Yet many rise to fall again. Along the path, many warriors have fallen to a mix of ignorance, confidence, and arrogance. As the Chinese would say, 骄兵必败, arrogant soldiers are doomed to defeat. Yet when confidence spills over to arrogance is less clear, only to the untrained eye. Your eyes loses their vigilance, your body numbs to mindless pleasure, your weapons blunt with the rust of lust. Reading your every move, your ego finds ways to moralize the same actions that once haunted you. The battle turns inward, from the battlefields of light to the dark recesses in your mind. This is the beginning of the end. For those who celebrate too early, your inner demons, like a Trojan horse, enters your fortress decorated with lustful lingerie and supple skin, with its attractive appearance all the more deadly. Beneath the ruins of guilt and shame, you ponder, where do you make the mistake? Was it to open the horse? Or was it to let the horse in the first place? Your gates may be impenetrable, but like how the softest of waters can erode the hardest of rocks, the wise warrior knows that the enemy can come from anywhere, even within his own fortress. And that enemy is arrogance. On the journey, there are two key phases that traps most warriors. The first is during your recovery mode, on average being the first 21 days after you decide to cross the starting line. Your body is still recovering. In silent agreement, you may have a few impulses, 0 to none. Some may even repulse at the thought of sex and lose their morning wood. You are at maximum vigilance, the target is clear, and you are ever ready to fight. During this period, your looks, thoughts, consciousness, everything starts to rise. When things are rising, that's when the first seeds of arrogance begin to sprout. Some start bragging about their early wins, even calling out results months, years into the future. You may notice too that the comments with the least follow-ups in Nofap tends to be those day X of 100 comments. Many who continue learning about Nofap may gain knowledge, awareness, and rise in enlightenment. This rise tempts many to rise in arrogance as well, as they believe that they have finally found Nofap's treasure chest. After recovery mode, when they enter the danger zone, this recovery mode period may last for 1 month or even months, depending on you. However, once you pass your recovery phase into the danger zone, then many will realize that you might have called it too early. Another time is when people visit forums, YouTube channels, and binge on the comments section. Reading questions from newbies, repeat offenders, we see some questions that are genuine, yet others are childish, from self-defeating personas stuck in their errant ways. Seeing all these newbies and ignorant people, it's easy to trigger a sense of superiority, a sense of winning this no-fap race, while leaving the rest in your dust. However, true warriors are humble, are modest. They understand that until the starting line blurs in their wake, there's more to learn and improve upon. And even then, there is more to learn and improve upon. Instead of calling out their results months in advance, they only call out after advancing those months. The true warrior understands that one loses by pride and gains by modesty. In the councils of Great Yu, Da Yu Mo, the royal Prince Yu spent 13 years taming the raging floods of the Yellow River, which was devastating social and economic development in ancient China. Despite his privileged background in the royal family, he never focused on taking all the credit. He ate and slept with the common workers. He personally assisted the work of dredging the silty beds of the rivers. He focused on learning the strengths of others, while always bowing down in gratitude every time he received feedback from peers. His engineering success and upright morals brought him to great heights, and he eventually established the Xia dynasty, China's first dynasty, ruling for 45 years. Aristotle famously wrote, "The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Our knowledge is represented inside the blue circle, and everything you don't know is outside. As you learn more, you push the circle outward, increasing your area. However, at the same time, you increase your circumference, thus increasing your contact with things that you don't yet know. This taps into a spiritual truth about humility. The higher you bring yourself up, the greater the fall. Knowing when to hold back your true strength is the practice of self-mastery. It's about letting your results show for themselves, even if it means not showing up to enjoy the attention. This is not just about Nofap, it is about life. The Chinese sages placed a premium on the virtue of humility, as they understood the many dangers of arrogance. Alan Watts likened the humble nature of Tao to water. The great Tao flows everywhere, to the left and to the right. It loves and nourishes all things, but it does not lord it over them. And when good things are accomplished, it lays no claim. When good things are accomplished, the Tao doesn't stand up and say, "I have made all of you, I have filled this earth with its beauty and glory, fall down before me and worship me." The Tao, having done anything, always escapes, and is not around to receive any thanks or acknowledge, because it loves obscurity. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like water, it always seeks the low level." The low level. If you always stick to the low level, there are no heights to fall from. Winning others by force breeds dissent, winning by virtue breeds respect. Philosopher Augustine of Hippo once said, "Humility is the foundation of all the other virtues." Hence, in the soul in which this virtue does not exist, there cannot be any other virtue except in mere appearance. True Nofappers have virtues, or rather, only those with virtues can reach the heights of Nofap. Charles Caleb Colton once said, "If you have performed an act of great and disinterested virtue, conceal it. If you publish it, you will neither be believed here nor rewarded thereafter." Remember, even if you have some results to show, without virtue, your success is only temporary. Keep knowledge of your strength in, and your fluids will follow suit. Help those along your journey, and your work will bear fruit. In part 2, I will share the one distinct trait to identify Nofap newbies and the 3 kinds of successful Nofap personas in China. This passage was adapted from 戒为良药, translated as Nofap is Great Medicine, a free public resource made from China-based authors on their masturbation epidemic, compiling their learnings from Chinese culture, venerable veterans, and modern melodies. This channel bridges between Eastern philosophy and modern science to offer guidance for those on Nofap. For those of us who are willing to tame our own arrogance to help others across the finish line, and to take the low level when credit is due. To those I say, warriors assemble.